Have you ever sat on the firing line and realized the internet's favorite cartridge list wouldn't survive 10 minutes in the real world? That's where this comes from. Not forum scoreboard arguments, but hard-earned decisions made after long days stalking, breathing wind calls, and trading follow-ups where it counts. I reshuffled the usual suspects, pulled an oddball, and added a cartridge that earns its place by being useful when the shot matters. This is practical, not theoretical. Expect honest takes on trajectory, felt recoil, terminal behavior, and which platform actually makes each cartridge sing. No paper battlegrounds. Just the kind of ammo talk you get from a buddy who carries these rounds in the field. Let's kick this off at number 10, 243 Winchester. Think of this as the Swiss Army knife of medium-bore hunting rounds. It gives you flat flight and light recoil, so you carry more gear and still make steady follow-ups after a long stalk. It lives in lightweight mountain rifles where every ounce matters. In the field, you'll run bullets between 90 and 120 grains for hunting. Lighter projectiles flatten the trajectory. Heavier projectiles handle wind better and penetrate deeper on bigger game. With competent optics and a practiced shooter, you can ethically tack shots past 300 yards, but it rewards knowing your zero and reading the wind. Twist rate matters. Pick one that stabilizes the bullet weight you intend to run, and test a few lots in your barrel before you commit to a load. What it concedes is raw long-range authority versus heavier 6.5 and 7mm options. Beyond 400 yards, you feel the energy and ballistic coefficient gaps. For most real-world deer and mid-sized game work, however, 243 Winchester gives you a forgiving, low-recoil, flat shooting tool that's pleasant on the shoulder and predictable in the wind. Sliding into number 9, 256 Remington. This is a speed-first cartridge for shooters who want a flat trajectory without full magnum punishment. It's a necked-down case that pushes lighter bullets hard, delivering shorter time of flight and easier holdover inside normal hunting windows. Typical hunting projectiles range from 75 to 120 grains. The light stuff gives the flattest flight. The heavy end holds together better on lean or slightly larger game. Barrel length unlocks velocity. A longer tube will reward you. Recoil sits more than 243 but well shy of true magnum energies, which means you can work through multiple shots without flinch ruining the follow-up. Where it falls short is at extreme ranges. Modern 6.5 cartridges with very high ballistic coefficients outmatch it past 400 yards and push wind performance further. Still, for open country work inside 100 to 400 yards, it's a hard-hitting, predictable performer that feeds and chambers in common bolt guns and is forgiving to tune. At number 8, 7mm 08 Remington. You get a clever compromise. It's essentially a 308 family case necked for a 7mm bullet, giving you improved ballistic coefficients and sectional density over many 6.5 options while keeping recoil manageable. Load choices sit between 120 and 160 grains. Lighter projectiles shine for flatter shots on open country. Heavier projectiles bring the penetration needed on deer and elk at moderate distances. It fits short-action platforms cleanly, which keeps rifles compact and handling friendly for mountain work. It won't chase a 7mm PRC at extreme 400-plus yard authority, but inside the typical hunting window, roughly 100 to 500 yards depending on bullet. It delivers predictable impacts, useful retained energy, and follow-ups that won't ruin a long day in the hills. You want dependability in the field, not a spec sheet fantasy. That's the real yardstick for what makes a cartridge worth carrying. Now we walk up the list and talk about the rounds you'll actually hand to a guide. Sling over your shoulder at dawn, and trust when the wind does the odd thing. Number 7, 308 Winchester. Call this the pragmatic toolbox round. It shows up in truck guns, guide rifles, and utility bolt actions because ammo, parts, and brass are everywhere. Load it with 120 to 180 grain projectiles, depending on your job. Lighter projectiles give you tighter time of flight and flatter holds. Heavier projectiles give you deeper penetration and a better chance of clean stops on tougher critters. In many hunting setups, the effective hunting window sits between 100 and 600 yards, depending on shooter skill and bullet selection. Recoil is noticeable, but not crippling. More push than a 6.5 in some rifles, but nowhere near full Magnum levels that wreck follow-ups. The ecosystem wins here. Optics, factory loads, primers, and brass are simple to source. Where it concedes to the new high BC cartridges is wind bucking and retained velocity past 400 yards. Still, for reliability, cost, and practical versatility, 308 Winchester is a daily driver you can depend on. Number 6. 280 Remington. If you want near Magnum punch without a Magnum-length action, this is your compromise. It drives 7mm projectiles faster than many older designs, giving you a better ballistic coefficient and more retained energy, out past 300 to 500 yards. Typical hunting projectiles sit between 120 and 160 grains. Expect stronger recoil than lighter bores, but in a balanced rifle, it remains shootable. For hunters who prize knockdown effect on bigger game while still carrying a rifle that doesn't beat you flat after 50 shots, 280 Remington is a smart, pragmatic choice. It gives superior wind resistance and penetration compared with lighter bores, and it slots into standard actions cleanly. Number 5. 270 Winchester. The classic flat shooter. Designed to push modest weight projectiles very fast, it rewards shooters with straightforward holdover, short time of flight, and a forgiving trajectory out to practical hunting ranges. Bullets run from 100 to 150 grains. Light projectiles excel in open country and high prairie work. Heavier projectiles bring sectional density for tougher animals. Recoil sits above a 243 but below serious magnums, making controlled follow-ups realistic on long days. The practical payoff is simple. 270 Winchester is brutally effective inside 300 to 500 yards when you place the shot. It's an old-school favorite for reason. You get flat hits without exotic platforms or hard-to-find ammunition. Number 4. 6mm Creedmoor. Here's where precision and shooter comfort meet. The cartridge is built to run high ballistic coefficient 6mm projectiles with surgical wind resistance and a low recoil bill. That combination makes it a darling of PRS shooters and long-range hunters who want repeatable impacts without an angry shoulder. Long, heavy 6mm projectiles slice wind and retain velocity, which matters when you're dialing for 500 yards and beyond. Barrels can be picky. Twist rate and bullet choice are critical. Match your twist to the long projectiles you plan to run and test lots. In the hands of a tuned rifle and a practiced shooter, 6mm Creedmoor gives flat trajectories, manageable recoil, and the kind of repeatability that turns long shots into realistic options. What comes next raises the stakes. 3 rounds remain that change how you plan a hunt and what you carry when the mountains get steep and the prairie gets wide. 3 rounds left. These are the ones that force you to reevaluate gear, optics, and the kinds of shots you'll even attempt. They change how you plan a hunt because they change the margin for error when wind and distance conspire to ruin a day. Number 3. 6.5-284 Norma. This cartridge is the long-range workhorse that grew up in wildcat benches and graduated to serious hunting rigs because it pushes heavy, high ballistic coefficient projectiles at speeds that keep them flat and stiff in the wind. Expect to see bullets in the 129 to 147 grain window commonly used for hunting, and a typical tuned load will give you more retained energy and less drift at 300 to 600 yards than many legacy rounds. It rewards a handloader. Factory ammo exists, but the full advantage shows when you tailor bullets, seating depth, and powders to your barrel. In real-world terms, that translates into finishing power and margin on longer shots, where a few inches of drop or drift separate a quick recovery from a long, ugly track. If you want a short-action capable cartridge that still chews up long-range problems, this is the sleeper pick many guide rifles quietly trust. Number 2. 6.5 PRC. This is the round that made a lot of hunters look twice because it takes the efficient 6.5 projectile family and gives it true Magnum-level velocity without launching rifles into the next punishment bracket. Run 120 to 147 grain bullets, and you get flatter trajectories, reduced wind deflection, and stronger retained energy out toward 300 to 800 yards, the zone where ethical long-range hits are still realistic for a steady shooter. It's friendly to short-action bolt guns and modern precision hunting rigs, which makes it equally at home on mountain outings and PRS-style match days. Downsides are what you'd expect when you chase velocity. Shorter barrel life if you hammer it, and higher cost per round than older, common cartridges. Still, if your hunting profile needs extended reach with manageable recoil, 6.5 PRC is a modern solution that balances wind fighting and impact energy very well. Number 1. 7mm PRC. Top billing goes to this cartridge because of the way it blends 7mm sectional density with modern Magnum case efficiency. Push 160 to 180 grain projectiles at meaningful speeds, and you get superior retained energy, better resistance to wind drift, and sectional density that carries terminal performance out past the practical windows most hunters care about. Yes, the recoil is real. You will notice it. But in a well-balanced hunting rifle, most competent shooters can train through the push and still make timely follow-ups. This is the platform outfitters pick when they want a one-shot solution for larger game at extended ranges. And the platform builders choose when they need repeatable, high BC performance without full-blown Magnum blast. The trade-offs are ammo cost and slightly accelerated barrel wear if you pound it. But if your world includes high alpine shots, long prairie runs, or guided work on elk-sized game, 7mm PRC will put more shots into the doable column than almost anything else on this list. Those are the last 3. The rounds that change which hills you're willing to climb, and how far you'll ask a bullet to work. Test a couple of factory loads, chronograph them, see which bullets your barrel likes, and then build your kit around those strengths, not whimsy. If you want to win on a real hunt, the cartridge is only half the equation. The other half is rifle balance, optic choice, and the ammunition your barrel will actually reward. Pick any round off the list, and you can ruin it with the wrong rifle, the wrong load, or a glass that makes aiming feel like guesswork. This section is about the nuts and bolts that turn a promising caliber into a dependable tool when the animal is 10 breaths away and the wind just shifted. Start with the rifle. A cartridge that sings in a well-balanced 3-pound lighter setup will feel like a slug when bolted into a poorly matched stock. Short-action cartridges thrive in compact light rifles. Long-action magnums need a measured barrel length to free the velocity you paid for. Match stock geometry and weight distribution to the cartridge family and you cut, felt recoil, speed up follow-ups, and keep the rifle steady on a pack-out after 8 hours. Optics are not a cosmetic decision. If you're running long-reach cartridges like 7mm PRC or 6.5 PRC, invest in glass with turrets that feel clinical and reticles that read subtleties in wind. For flat shooters like 243 Winchester or 270 Winchester, prioritize low-distortion lenses and a reticle that won't clutter quick shots inside 300 yards. Your scope must match your hunting envelope. Don't buy 8 times magnification glass for close canyon work or low-power glass for prairie glassing beyond 500 yards. Ammo selection is where hunters separate loud claims from reality. Factory specs lie to you in a nice brochure. Real barrels have temper, throat lengths, and temperamental preferences. Chronograph everything you plan to hunt with. Record velocities, calculate the actual muzzle velocity average, and use those real numbers for ballistic solutions. 2 loads can have identical bullet weights on paper and behave entirely differently out of the same barrel. Reloaders get the advantage. Tailor seating depth and powder choice to the throat of the rifle, and you squeeze group size and consistency. But even if you run factory ammo, test 3 different loads. The one your rifle prints best is the one you carry. Don't be seduced by the highest listed velocity. Pick the load that stabilizes in your barrel and gives repeatable impacts. Mounting and maintenance matter. Proper bedding, a matched recoil lug, and a torque pattern on action screws will keep point of impact shifts minimal when the temperature drops or the barrel heats. A free-floating barrel isn't a cure-all, but when combined with consistent ammunition and a reliable bedding job, it turns your setup from a guessing game into a tool. Fieldcraft ties it all together. Pick a cartridge based on the terrain and the shots you expect to take. If you live where shots usually happen inside 200 yards and weight matters, 243 Winchester or 256 Remington will keep you precise and functional. If you regularly expect 400 to 800 yard opportunities with elk-sized game, 7mm PRC or 6.5 PRC shift the odds in your favor.